Hit Season 2.
Bridge can also go by air. I think ByuN is about to 2-0 Solar. I think this is about to happen. I want that rematch in Classic and ByuN, but I don't think I'm going to get it rapid. These players are ready now. The map is loading. Let's jump into New Gettysburg for game number 2. Down here in the bottom right, in red, our Zerg player is Solar.
Playing for Samsung.
His opponent to the bottom left, in blue, it is ByuN. 1 game away from advancing on this group in first place.
He's playing for literally only himself and his army of fans, which you may be able to hear in the back just because there are so many of them. So yeah, really excited to get into this game. Could signal a pretty strong resurgence, not only for ByuN as the player, but also for Terrans versus Zergs. Maybe looked a little bit rough after Rogue just put so many of them in the ground. But you're going to find out if Solar can survive against what was incredible early pressure from ByuN.
I feel like ByuN has like this different idea about how the game is played. He gas versus every game. Every single game, no matter what matchup it is. Terran versus Terran, you kind of have to, but like in these other ones, doesn't change his style. He's going to get a reactor after this Reaper, after his CC comes up. Like, he knows every step of the way what he wants to do. Now, on this map, the bridge gives you potential to push faster. Now, it's obviously if Solar doesn't skip Baneling Nest this time, like, it's a very dangerous place to be because you can't split, for example. And Queens can have a good service area on the other side if you want to smash up the Queen style. But if ByuN gets an early lead and can control that bridge and isn't afraid of that kind of style from, like, if he actually controls the bridge, like, it just gives him mass reinforcing power with his parade push. And parade push is actually a term I came up with when I first started casting the GSL because it feels like you're literally watching a parade of units across the map. And once you get a tempo advantage, the units kind of be interrupted, and eventually you just start to sag. It's like watching a MOBA, right? And then eventually, like, a lane wins and kills the tower, in this case, kills the hatchery. And we saw that basically in the last game, and Roach's, I think, Roach's Ravager style is something that is really popular, or was really popular at the beginning of Legacy Void in all regions, then it kind of faded out of Korea. We saw it a lot in Europe after that. But I think it's bad in this matchup because the DPS of the Roaches is too slow, Medivacs out-heal that, the Marines kill them too quickly. If you go Ravager, you're really just kind of hoping your opponent messes up his micro. Because if you split properly, they get no value and they do very low DPS on their own auto attacks. So I'm not a big fan of it. I'm surprised we just didn't just see a Baneling Nest. Maybe he's afraid that, okay, I don't have Baneling speed, I can't hold this push without Baneling speed, but I think with the Queens and some of the links there, could have done a better job. Roaches ended up being too expensive and not effective in that last game.
A little bit of a different build this time around. We're going to see double Hellion pressure. I think he's going to keep the reactor here on the factory. It's going to be a reactory as he pumps out these Hellions early.
Banshees as well, so this is a really different build.
Yeah, definitely kind of meching it up here to start, not necessarily committing to that. We'll see what the tech route is for ByuN. Definitely a different...
I think he is going to mech, you know, because he's not producing out of his barracks. We don't know for sure, like you said, but I'm starting to lean towards it because... Okay, now he starts Marine, so he must have just been switching. We didn't have a shot of that earlier, but this cloak for Banshees is kind of a rare sight outside of TBT. It's very rare to see in this match, especially because Queens got buffed. Oh my god, he's just going to run through here.
Nice Zergling block, doesn't want to lose them, and so low health on those the Reaper, and one of those Hellions with 4 HP.
I'm actually going to check and see if that Overlord did scout the Banshee tech. It did, so that's pretty huge. So he can respond. He was already going for a quick lair, so that's going to be the answer to this. Oop, that one Hellion gets targeted down. Nice job by Solar to identify that was the weak one.
Yep, and lots of Queens coming out. No surprise there, and because there are all these Queens, that might make it actually a lot easier to defend against this Banshee push coming in. Cloak will finish as soon as it reaches the base, but it has been scouted out by an Overlord, so theoretically Solar should know that this is coming in. 2 drones being taken down, and we'll see how much more this Banshee can get.
Without an Overseer, which is being made right now, he could try to find more damage, but he's just not going to get it. It isn't going to be mech, as I had maybe jumped the gun, jumped to conclusions earlier when we didn't have Marines in production. But he is adding siege tanks in now. Siege tanks very powerful on this map, and the cool thing about this map is you can take 4 bases very easily in an even game. We saw the opposite was true when Super ended up losing game 3 on this map because he tried to take the 4th towards the Zerg, who had a massive army, but if you're going mech especially, you can take 4 bases. The 4th is still exposed, but you like control the bottom of a ramp there. There's rocks, so it takes a while to attack. It's 2 base mutas, like it's 2 base layer into mutas, and the 3rd base comes a bit late here for Solar, so we'll see how much damage that gets done.
So this is actually kind of interesting. You start off with a lot of mech, and then you move more into bio. As Marines will be able to catch this Overseer, who's going to try to block this ramp with a Changeling. So cool when you can see that work out. It's 2 Marines wide, so going to block that out there. These Cloak Banshees coming around from behind. I'm not sure exactly how much damage they are going to be able to do. There is a Spore, there is an Overseer out there, but no Queens in the main. Here they come, and it should be enough to push these Banshees back.
I think he wants to use this to clear creep, so he pulls the Queens back, and then the army comes out and clears creep. He doesn't have a medevac with this army, so this is really risky. But look at this. He's using the bridge here very, very well. Now, the Mutalisks are going to make this a big, big issue. In fact, like with 9 mutas, he's going to have more mutas than there are Marines, but damage being done here still in the main. These Banshees one-shot these drones, and now he sees the mutas, it actually gives him time to retreat.
Okay, but a Zergling run by right as the command center lifts off, and this is going to be able to kill off these Marines. All these workers in the natural might just be forfeit. He's going to be killing hopefully a lot of them. Actually, man, those SCVs are pretty strong, man. He's going to be able to take out a few, but he's lost more drones. Is this run by worth it?
Well, I mean, it's a lot of lost mine time. I think it's definitely worth it, but he would have liked to get more, as you said. This base being denied temporarily. The Zerg has a massive army here. Like, this is actually a terrifying amount of mutas. I don't know if there's enough anti-air here. Stim is not done.
No,
and you know what? He actually might just win this game off of killing this army.
Yeah, all of the Marines will die, even if Stim does finish. What are you going to Stim? There is a couple of Liberators out, but that is not an... Okay, well, it is actually enough. Well, lots of splash damage.
This is why mutas are not in the meta, right? Like, this game that we're watching here, guys, don't write this build down, okay? Don't save this VOD for later.
Do not try this at home.
Yeah, this is like... I don't know, we're like in a wonky, like, different meta in this game particularly. Like, this is not the meta snapshot of where this matchup is right now. It just simply isn't. ByuN is getting just dominated because he committed so much of that push, but he didn't have an army.
He's clumping up these Mutalisks, actually taking so much damage. All of those mutas in orange or red health, but thankfully mutas do heal up pretty quickly.
Yeah, they have a special passive that allows them to regen faster than regular units do. I would say called something...
I was going to say, do you know the name?
Tissue regeneration.
Okay.
So
I was going to say stone form for a second there. I was like, no, wrong game.
Yeah. But they regen very quickly, as you guys can see, so if they don't blow up, if he splits them at the last second at least, then they will regen very quickly. And we do see this Contaminate going down to halt Marine production. It's pretty important.
Yeah, so no more Marines for now, but he has actually refilled the Marine count, and that was actually a little bit of a scary, sketchy situation earlier when all those mutas were able to take down all of the Marines. Thankfully, 2 Liberators are pretty good, but here come the Banelings. Well, if you wanted them in Game 1, or in Game 2, in Game 1. This is Game 2, and might be the last one here. If ByuN can hold this and then turn it around, are there enough Mutalisks to take out these large Liberator numbers? Look like the answer is no, it's such low health.
He has to back off here. It's crazy. ByuN is just barely holding on in this game. He's so massively behind, and I don't think he can hold this CC if the Mutas come over. Ooh,
nope,
he wants
does
to
need to lift those. So many Banelings here. This CC is actually just dead. Or is it? Banelings rolling in. They do get the Baneling speed there just in time. Rolling on up, but will they be able to connect here with the Marines? Already starting to get targeted down there. Nice push back, and ByuN holds.
He loses his CC.
Yep.
He wanted to bait this this fight. I think that's why he landed it there. And he was like, okay, if I kill this army, maybe I can counterattack and win the game. He lost his CC. He didn't kill really anything. He killed Banelings, I guess. I mean, he definitely did kill Banelings, right? But this is not enough damage. Right now, it's like he was already behind. He has to do really big damage with this push. But look at the creep. Like, don't tell me those are all tumors over there, right? Like, this is never going to get clean.
I mean, he's going to get a lot of value off of the scans, but he doesn't actually have very much back at home to defend against this huge ball of mutas. Those mutas ever get touched by Liberators, they're actually just dead, but they're doing a great job at stopping the parade from this push to come out.
Look at how much time
my
tumors
God.
by. It's crazy.
So many tumors, but look at these Mutalisks. They're going to be killing off medevacs. They're going to be getting a lot of value off of this, and this is definitely going to need to pull ByuN back. So many Banelings!
That's game.
Oh my
GG.
God, yeah, instant GG.
All right.
Okay, a little bit anticlimactic there on the ending. Turns out if you lose your whole army to Banelings, the game does not go your way.
That was a super weird game. I know New Gettysburg will create games like that, but I guess maybe he's worried if he didn't go for. That's one of my first TVZs I've seen on that map that actually went to that was not done by an all-in. So maybe he was worried. Maybe in the meta on this map, oftentimes Terrans will take the islands if they don't go for metas. So you kind of have to do that to control the air. He committed so much to Banshees that got a decent amount of damage done, but it was not enough. Then he actually had that push out there. And when he committed to the attack, the run by hit, he didn't have an answer for that. Then he didn't have an answer for the mutas. He didn't have enough units. His stim was really late. He's going gas first in these super hyper tech builds. And if they work out, because Classic doesn't split his probes versus Widow Mines, then he gets massively ahead. But if there's just a defense, he's like, oh God, my stim was so late. Now what do I do? Against Classic when he lost that game too with the DTs, it's like, okay, ByuN, you couldn't defend 2 DTs even though you killed a bunch of probes. You have no stim and you have no pressure. You can see on his face, he's like,